Welcome my dear sewing friends. In this video today we are in fact doing another refashion, or a garment renovation as I like to call it, also known as refashion, upcycle or thrift flip. A garment renovation is the age-old practice of taking something that you already have, or in this case thrifted, and turning it into something new and wonderful and something more uniquely you, I should say. Refashioning is so much fun. It really is a great sewing project to do, but it can be really hard because you have to make it up as you go along a lot of the time. So hopefully watching my process will help you give some backstory, back information for you to bring to your own sewing projects in the future. But today, my project is this blouse, but let's get started. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Evelyn Wood, and here on this channel we do everything sewing. So garment sewing to help and inspire you to get better at your garment making. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button because this is one of many videos that we do. Sometimes it's talking about sewing topics, sometimes it's refashioning, and today is refashioning, or the garment renovation as I call it. So my project today, I actually challenged myself well, actually for me it was less than a week ago, but it'll be a little bit longer by the time you see this video, to do several refashions in this week, because I just found I kept making excuses, and for me it was not finding time, but I think that we all struggle with either no time, no money, or no motivation. So hopefully I put the challenge out to you as well, and you all jumped in and sort of got motivated to do some sewing projects, just make the time and make it happen. It was so fantastic to see. So this is one of mine. So I'm on a time crunch, so let's get going. What is my project here? What were my goals? My goals to refashion is I wanted some garments for everyday wear, something that I can wear every day that matches in my wardrobe. So I'm thinking outfits and things that coordinate, but something really comfy for every day. My inspiration, I had, this piece, but it's a lovely little cotton blouse. My inspiration was really thinking Edwardian corset covers, so beautiful, soft, light cotton drawn in at the waist with a little frill at the bottom. Obviously the top of this is going to be quite different, but that's my inspiration. Now for my plan. Let me show you what my plan is with this. Because even though with refashioning we make it up a lot as we go along, if you don't plan ahead to start with, it's really, really hard. So here's what I'm thinking. I want to create sort of a casing waistline through here, keeping this nice little frill. This will be gathered in with a casing through here, a little tie through here to create that sort of Edwardian corset cover that I'm inspired by. So how do we get there? So first I'm going to work on, I think, cutting my bodice length, and then cutting my sort of lower band frill band here, and cutting those two. Then I'll know how much fabric I have left in the middle to play with for other things. Then I will look to see if I actually need to take this in at all, and I will do that first, and then I will look at joining the bodice to the frill with the casing and doing all of that. And then of course I'll look at like button changes, or maybe adding some lace or some other decoration. But that is my main order of construction and the main process I'm going through here. Okay, let's break this down a little bit further. So first up, I'm going to measure down and get my waist line, and plus a little bit of extra for ease so that I have some blousiness through the bust. And then I'm going to work out the kind of amount I want for my band at the bottom and cut these off. My band, I want to be a nice even piece. My bodice, as I said, I want to be a little bit blousy, so I'll add a little bit extra because I can always take a little bit off. My band has been marked, my finished length, so I need to add seam allowance onto this. And I've also marked my waist here. It got a pin here and a pin here where it curves out like this, which makes sense because this entire shirt curves out like this. And so when this is all sort of gathered in like this, as it would be, then it is a straight line where my waist will be. So fortunately for me, my back and my front pin here for my waist actually line up. So I'm just going to go with my waist one, and I'm going to cut in my measurement through here under the bust, adding in seam allowance for what I need for my casing that I'm going to make, and then cut down my band, again allowing seam allowances. This is a great example of where you would actually stay stitch around this cut edge immediately so it doesn't stretch out. Now I also want to take this in, I think, just a little bit. So I'm going to baste down these sides first and try it on because it is pull on. There is no button opening. I need to make sure I can pull it on. So I'm going to baste first before I make the adjustment for real. Try it on, see how it goes, and then sew down and actually take these sides in just a little bit. This is coming along so good. So my original plan with this casing was to have use a bias tape. And what I thought I would do was actually have bias tape underneath one layer, sew them on, and then actually put another one on top so that there's a casing inside and all of the seams are inside the casing as well. It's all nice and neat and finished, and it'll look beautiful with a little opening at the front for the drawstring. But this one is too wide, this one is too small. So I was going to then make my own bias tape for the casing, but it seems I have quite a lot of this in the middle left over. So I think I'll actually do a plain casing. So I'll use the back where it's just the plain cotton. And well, I'll need 4 lengths of this because I have 1, 2 around and then 1, 2 underneath. And I think I will have just enough, like just enough. So I'm going to create a band that will come through here and will attach the same way that I had planned through there. So how I'm going to proceed is to cut up this back piece of fabric and cut it up into the strips that I need, and create 2 long circular, well, one circular, one open pieces that I can actually, the same length as the bodice, to attach to the bodice. I attach the underside first, and then the top layer of the casing actually goes on top and top stitched on, leaving a little opening at the center front that I'll thread through and just cut that at leaving a little opening at the front. As I'm pinning and getting ready this second side of the band here, in some areas I'm having to actually just kind of tuck in the band a little bit to make it fit, so that it actually covers here. Just means this is going to be a little bit looser on the underside than it is on the top, but that's okay. It's only a tiny little bit here and there, but otherwise it's going together quite well. Okay, we are nearing the end. I'm going to use this Hug Snug seam binding for the casing, so I just need to thread that through. I'm not entirely sure I'm 100% happy with it, but I'll put it in and see how it looks and then decide. And then I was going to change the buttons. So these are just little plastic ones, of course. I was looking through, recently you might remember I found a huge big container of vintage buttons. So I was looking through those, and I did find some nice ones, though I really don't like how they're sort of yellow against this bright white. I don't think it's really working. So unfortunately all these mother of pearl and vintage ones are out. So through my big stash here of buttons, I found some. These ones are the top 2 contenders. These ones here, and then these glass ones. These ones I think are the best because they're just that bright white that I think needs to go with this. So it won't be a huge difference, but just the tiny little things will just look a little bit nicer overall. And you know, it's all those little things that make all the big difference in the end. So I just have these tiny little things to finish up, and then I think this one's complete. I already have some ideas of what I would do differently next time for this one, but first let me show you what how this one turns out all styled, and then I'll talk about what I might do differently next time in case you would like to try something like this yourself. Doesn't the little peplum look just incredible? But I wonder, if I didn't actually tell you this, I wonder if you would even notice that I did do something sneaky. So although it turned out fantastic, I've already changed something. Yes, I actually, before I filmed that after, I shortened this bodice because when I put it on, oh, I was sadly disappointed. It was just too blousy, it was too long, I had just too much up here. So I already snipped a little bit off, and I've already changed some of those things that I would change next time. And I wonder if anyone noticed that I didn't actually end up changing the buttons, because the ones that I was going to change actually were too big. I wouldn't be able to undo them. Not so much of a problem. But then I was looking at them closer, and once I put this ribbon, maybe not my favorite, but it's all that I've got, and so it's fine for now. This ribbon is ever so slightly off-white, and it just matches the buttons ever so slightly off-white, so it looks really good together. So I've kept those original buttons on here. But other than that, now that I have this size and template, I'll know to use this bodice length for something next time. I still have lots of room to move. I really, really love it. I think I'll have one in every color. Make sure you check the description box below, because I have lots of other videos there of refashions and lots of sewing how-tos and tutorials, particularly on refashioning as well, that I know that will really, that you'll enjoy and will really help you along in your own refashioning. So thank you very, very much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, would you make this? What do you think of my little blouse creation here? I always love to hear your comments. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy sewing. Bye.